Alrighty, hey, it's a bonus edition for tonight. Yeah, I couldn't believe I actually was doing this, but I was actually listening to a little bit of UNIRock's massively inept stream tonight. I'm just flabbergasted at the facts that he just doesn't understand. I mean, the simple things like he doesn't get, to the point of just being absurdity. So I was going to do a quick little hangout tonight. Hopefully the chat's working there. Kind of going over some of the very basic stuff that he doesn't seem to understand, which I don't get because this is not that hard. He doesn't seem to understand how Kyle edited these things or how we claim that he edited them. He thinks that we claim that Kyle somehow wrote a bunch of Postscript code. No, all it takes is an editor like Adobe Acrobat Pro. That's it. You have an Adobe editor that allows you to go to a PDF and make edits, and then the Postscript is recorded. The touch-up text edits are recorded manually. They're not created by a computer. Most of the text document is computer generated. You did understand that, but the touch-up edits are manual edits that are done after the creation of the document. And his justification for this was absolutely bizarre. He's talking about, for example, if you go down here, he's talking about these debit purchases down here, and the weird thing about that is that, I'm going to put the other one on here. Give me 1 second. Because that one's not redacted. I'll blur that one out. Get my redacted one. Where's my redacted one? Ah! 1 second. Well, anyways, I'll just explain it to you. So he's talking about the debit purchases, and he's saying that they're like computer aligned and they're aligned perfectly, and he would have had to go in and align this. No, those were actually two that were done by the computer. Those two lines are actual debit purchases with actual dates. What was changed on them were the months and the date of the second. But those lines have already adjusted. They were already in the code itself. I mean, if you look at the actual code, let me go back to the code. If you look at the actual code, this information of the text boxes tells you where those text boxes are going to be. When you see the C2_18TF, those are computer generated. This is the font that the PDF uses. This up here, where you see actual edit with the C_0/0/0_08, those mean an edit has been done. For example, like here, this is an edit that's been done. Okay, this all this up here is computer generated. This is what I don't think he was understanding. Of course, that's going to be all aligned properly. But this is the alignment of the text box. That was already there initially. That's part of the computer generated of it. Kyle just went in and changed the date to August instead. That's it. Nothing complicated. He didn't use this code here. This code is a result of an edit. You don't use this code to edit. This is the effect, not the cause. The cause is you go into a PDF editor, you change the data like you would, just like you wrote writing a PDF file. You just change the information in the text box. But every time you do that after you created a PDF, it will create one of these touch-up text edits, meaning that it has been changed after the creation date. So the original document that Kyle got, he got right off his computer, right? And once again, no, Scotty Lee Forbes did not log into his computer. She had no idea. She wasn't allowed to. He was asked to log in front of Scotty or have Scotty log in for him. He refused. Scotty has never logged in. That's just complete nonsense from UNIRock. So whenever you see one of these touch-up edits, that means that somebody has manually gone in after it was downloaded and created. That's what that means. For example, one of the more notable ones was like for this right here. This is a balance change, right? So the beginning balance has this new font that comes from a new font table, a sub font of the Sans Super Sans Pro. Now it could be, again, future BK. Could be that font as well, but if it was a change with the future BK, it comes from a different table. It doesn't come from the PDF table. It comes from a different table in the Adobe Pro, and that will create a sub font. That's why Ruhif in his video, which I don't think Jason watched, shows the sub fonts. It would not have sub fonts unless it was actually edited by somebody manually, and Jason doesn't understand that. He didn't address any of that. And, it's so weird because people in his live chatters eating that up like it's gospel, yet they have no idea what the hell he's even saying. He starts throwing out words like field and value. And no, again, this right here, and by the way, I just switched to Notepad++. This right here is the result. What happens anytime you have an edit, it's going to record it. And the reason why it does that is because once you sign a PDF or once you have finalized a PDF, it tracks any changes because those could be legal documents. That's the reason why they have the touch-up text edits. You don't go in and manipulate this code. You don't go in and change this code here. No, this code doesn't do. Who cares if you change this? This doesn't do anything to the PDF. I think he thinks it backwards. I think he thinks you come in here, you make edits here, and then it changes to the PDF rather than just use a PDF editor like Adobe Acrobat Pro. But every one of these edits that use this particular font from a sub font table, you can actually find. You can actually go into the original and see that that's the edit that's been made. So I'm just at a loss that he thinks he has any understanding of this whatsoever. And what's worse is that he claims he has experts and coders that have said, "Oh yeah, they're wrong." Okay, I tell you what, I will put $1,000 up of my own money if a coder can come in and show this is wrong. $1,000 my own money, and if he can't, he'll donate $1,000 to charity. I don't want the money. $1,000 to charity. This is going to the court. This is going to the judge. This is going on record. This is actual evidence. This is, again, how they determined whether a PDF has been changed. And his argument is like, well, how do you know Kyle did it? Because Kyle submitted us the originals in February of 2020 before he redacted them to the webpage. Same edits. Those were edited. Who else would they be? I mean, he actually uploaded this to the North Carolina business courts. Those were updated with the edits. Original edits. We have that. So who else would it be? He's responsible for it. I mean, did he have somebody else do it? Okay, let's go with that. Let's say he had Agrippa edit for him or something. Who the heck knows? But he's responsible for it. He is the one that uploaded them, and he knows the data is false. Whether he edited it or not, which, of course, he edited it, but let's say that he wasn't. He knows the information in there is false. The discovery has been subpoenaed. UNIRock doesn't believe that. He doesn't have to believe that. But we know it has been subpoenaed, and they will get back to us. They have said they will get it back to us, and they are working on it. And they just didn't get it back to us today, which we didn't expect them to because it was a Sunday, and then Monday was a bank holiday, and then it was started at 7 o'clock this morning Pacific time, and their headquarters are in Illinois, but I think that the way they do this from is actually in Utah or somewhere. It's in Pacific time. So they didn't get back to us. So hopefully we'll have back by tomorrow or the next day. But once we get those Discover things back, it will show the August, September, October, and November. And that August and November have been altered. Clearly have been altered. And Kyle, again, would not show us the originals. Absolutely would not show us the originals. All he had to do was show us the originals. No, this is not Fortran. This is Postscript. But like, even like when you put the 4 dots in, you can tell the 4 dots are different by looking at the, when you look at it real close, you can see that the font's changed, right? But all these touch-up edits, he says is 100. I don't know where he gets that from. I've had numerous people do this. And Treat Feline counted 36 in August and 22 in November. That's what I got. I don't know where he's getting up with 100 from. But every one of these text edits actually corresponds to with a visible edit you can see on the PDF itself. So I'm not sure what he's thinking. It seems to me he's thinking that we're claiming that Kyle went in and edited this data here. No, he's working backwards, right? He thinks that this is the code that creates the PDF, therefore you edit it. Now, there's some truism to that this is, like, for example, this code, the original code, would do that, right? When he says, like, go get this font, set this width, set this text, print it. Yeah, that would be code that will do that. But you don't go into this post code and change it manually to get the results in the PDF. That's what he's thinking. No, you just use a regular PDF editor. You just type it in, AUG. And then it will say, okay, it records that here as a touch-up text edit. It tells people what font was used, where it was done at, and what was edited in. Yeah, it's not true Postscript. I know Postscript is actually, there's actually a language called Postscript, but I've seen this referred to as Postscript PDF, Justin. But I agree that there's actually a language called Postscript, but I've seen this in their own documentation. It's called Postscript PDF. I don't know why, but that's what I think. I think he thinks that this is the code that creates the PDF. Therefore, if you go in and you change this, it'll change the PDF. No, he has it backwards. You change the PDF, that'll change this. Now, originally when it was created, sure, this was a code that would create that. But this will keep track of anything after the original creation date. We never argued that Kyle went in and changed the code here. Kyle's never seen any of this before. He doesn't know what any of this looks like. In fact, he didn't understand it. He just laughed at it and said, oh, it's wrong. And when the lawyer asked him, why is it wrong? He had no response. He had no answer to that. None. This is by fiat, it's wrong. Well, sorry, that doesn't cut it when this goes to the judge. The judge is going to want to know why this has been edited. It's perfectly well established that those touch-up edits are a way to determine in a PDF if it's been edited. But UNIRock, in his infinite ineptness, seems to think that we argued that Kyle went in and changed this code. Yeah, no, it doesn't work that way. So like I said, find a coder that could show that this is not the case. Go up against Ruhif, and I'll put my own $1,000 on, not Ruhif's money, my own. I've never asked Ruhif to cover anything on my bet. Oh, he's only paying for the court cost. But he keeps talking about these coders. Where are they? Bullinator's a coder. He agrees with this full on. I've had numerous other coders message me. They seem to agree. So who are these coders that disagree? Because they're nameless, that's for sure. And they haven't showed in a video how this is wrong. UNIRock sure didn't. He didn't know what the hell he was talking about. So I just wanted to get on real quick because I was just watching that and I was like, man, this is some really ignorant stuff. Because he just has it all backwards as usual, thinking that, oh, well, yeah, they're claiming Kyle went in and changed his code stuff. No, that's not how it works. It's not that complicated. I'm sorry UNIRock can't understand it, but it's basically you go into Adobe, you edit it like you would normally any other PDF. Once you have an edit, that has then changed that data in that PDF, so people can go in later and see if a contract has been changed after it's been signed or something. That's what it is. Yeah, the argument is that Kyle changed the text in the PDF and it's shown in the code. Yeah, that's it. Yeah. Now, he's like, how do you know Kyle did it? Okay, who else did it? Who are your options here? This is not downloaded this way. Those touch-ups are done after it's been downloaded. It's computer generated, so you wouldn't have touch-ups. Those are manual touch-ups. Those are not computer generated. Those are all manually done after something is created. And it just so happens that the word Benjamin is manually created. The amounts are manually created. All the Octobers have been turned to August manually on a data matrix that shows that it's actually the October statement. I mean, we have a lot of coders in our community here, and like I said, I challenge any of them to debunk it properly because UNIRock doesn't have coders. He doesn't have anybody that knows any of this stuff. He's lying through his teeth. None of them have shown him anything. He doesn't understand it. He even says, I don't know what I'm doing with this. He didn't understand it. And yet he's relying on people that are probably either A, lying to him or don't exist. So I just wanted you guys to know that this he just has it backwards, and I thought it was funny, to be honest with you. This is going to the judge. We are going to get Discover back. It will show that they have been altered. That is, it's a given. Like I said, during the depositions today, Kyle did not want to show the August statement, the November statement, when he could have. He could have just logged in, or he could have had Scotty logged in. He said, I'll only show it to my lawyer. And Scott said, okay, have your lawyer logged in, and he declined. He's like, well, I'm thinking to myself, why would he not want to show it to his lawyer? Let's say it is forged. The lawyer needs to know these things. And second, if supposedly Scotty Forbes Lee have already logged in, she already knows what it looks like, but she didn't. Where's this evidence from UNIRock that Scotty Lee logged in? Who told him this, and where's the evidence for that? Is he just believing Kyle? I mean, he just repeats things that supposedly people have told him. We actually show you this stuff. We actually show you how to go do it. Go watch the video, and Rube's video shows you how to do this. Now, it's missing a step or two, I admit. He should have explained more about the Python library, but you can figure it out. I know a tree feline figured it out pretty quickly. But he's never shown a video of anybody doing that step by step and not getting the same results. Because he can't. He just has to go on, oh, such and such told me. Oh, the coders in his community told him this. Well, they're inept. Straight up inept. Because it is clear that anybody that knows anything about basic computers can tell you that this is a fingerprint. This is a text font change. This is the box it's in. By the way, he doesn't have to change any of that. Those were already there. That's why Jason understands the alignments. He's like, well, he would have had it done to the pixel and manually done that. That's impossible. No, it was already there. The computer already did all that. He just went in and changed some of the information through the Adobe Pro. That's it. That's it. I don't know why he thinks it's so complicated. Yeah, exactly. It's screenshots but no actual process. He claimed, but you can do this for yourself. I show you how. No, he doesn't. Yeah, no, he doesn't. Rube's video does. He shows it. Yeah, no, I know, William. I mean, I admit. Look, his group over there are just ridiculous, and they have nothing to do with our group. He thinks he's part of the debunking community. I know a lot of people in the debunking community. Nobody takes him seriously. Nobody. There's not a single debunker out there that takes UNIRock seriously. He knows this. Fight the Flat Earth, Team Skeptic, Conspiracy Cat, Sci-Fi, Sci-Man Dan. None of these people take him seriously. You know who they invite on their shows? Me. You know who they invite on their shows? Reds. I go on shows all the time. Do you know people invite UNIRock as an expert or even somebody as a layperson to know anything? Zero. And he'll even say that, oh, I don't know anything about Adobe. Then why are you pontificating about it? He didn't go read anything about this stuff. Roof and I spent weeks trying to make sure that we had everything set perfectly to understand it well enough to submit it to the court. Yeah, exactly, Bonator. More correctly, the Postscript is dumped directly by reading the PDF downloaded from the court. Yes, this was a data dump. It was uncompressed first through QPDF exe. It does more of a decompression of it, and then it will, through the Python libraries, extract this, quote, Postscript code. I don't know why they call it the Postscript code, because, again, there is a Postscript language, but that's what I'm going to refer to it as, just easier. But UNIRock was telling his audience that we were arguing that Kyle went into this code and edited the code here, and that changed the PDF or something. No, that's just ridiculous. It shows how fundamentally backwards he actually is. Yeah, so what do you guys think is going to happen when we get that statements back from Discover? Now, and Jason, by the way, said that was all a ruse or something. We didn't actually subpoena Discover. Want to bet? Yeah, you want to bet on that? I don't think you will. Oh, yeah. If you open the PDF in Notepad, it looks way different because it has all that extra information in it. Right. Yeah, that looks like computer code. I haven't done that, but I've seen it, and yeah, you want to get rid of all that. So thoughts by Jay Brown. He can do this because you have to learn Python, but it's only one Python library. Yeah, it's like he's like, oh, if you do this, it disappears. I don't know what he means by any of that. What do you mean by old values? I don't have Adobe Pro. I would do it for you. The problem is I don't have Adobe Pro, but you know who does? Kyle. You know who bought it for him? The Non Sequitur Show fans. So all you need is that Adobe program to go in and edit. That's it. You don't need. He doesn't have to know any of this code. Okay, Josh Garver, who's a mathematician, says it's called Postscript PDF because the file starts as a Postscript before Discover converts it to PDF. Okay, that makes sense. So I was right. They do call it Postscript PDF, but there is a language called Postscript. Yeah, I don't think that UNIRock is even going to care that the Discover is going to come back as altered, right? He'll still say, "Oh, well, how do you know Kyle did it?" You know, or whatever. He'll still find some narrative as long as he can until he has to turn on him. But that doesn't matter to us. None of this matters. We're not trying to convince UNIRock's crowd. We're not even trying to convince you guys, because you guys already know. We just find it entertaining that he puts out so much misinformation in light of reality, because this is going to the judge. It is going through the court system. Yeah, will there be criminal charges? Almost a certainty. And all this time, I want people to recognize that UNIRock has supported Kyle, the person who stole $60,000 from the fans. That's not even hyperbole. That is, he admitted this. He admitted it. He said, yes, there's about 60,000, and he was found liable for fraud and fraudulent conversion and taking all the money. So there's nothing non-evidential there. There's no question about that. Yeah, Rue paid off Adobe and paid off Discover. Yeah, yeah. According to Jason, he paid off Ben too. I just talked to Ben today. Ben's in great spirits. He was filled in by the lawyer. He knows nothing about it being sealed. Yeah, Jason was like, "Oh, well, Ben and Kyle said that they were having it sealed." No, they're not. In order to have something sealed, you have to go through the court system to do this. It would be actually on the court docket. It would be on the public webpage that it was a motion to seal. There isn't any. So where's his evidence for that? Because Ben didn't know what the hell he was talking about. I mean, he didn't know. He realized it was about redaction, and because I mentioned it, I was like, well, it's the fact that out of those 1,400 pages, 99% of it was just personal communications that are irrelevant and should be redacted before to go to the judge. And plus, I don't want access to that. I never asked for access to that, and I can't be given access to that. That is private information that's not relevant to the case, and both lawyers agree it's not going to go past the lawyer's eyes. I'm all for that, but that's not the same thing as being sealed. And he doesn't seem to understand that. And then he lies and said Ben said it was sealed. Again, I just talked to Ben today. Ben had no such knowledge about it. Ben just said he was just an idiot. But yeah, his narrative about Ben is weird. Yeah, he said he testified against Kyle, but he didn't provide anything in Steve's favor. Yeah, he did. He was very happy to do so. I don't know what. Again, where's all this evidence that he's talked to Ben? Ben hasn't talked to anybody, and he certainly hasn't talked to Uni. Now you could say, "Well, Steve, what about you? Where's your evidence you talked to Ben?" Ask him. Go ahead, ask him. That's all you got to do. How simple is that? So, anyways, what do you guys think, though? I mean, like I said, I really don't think Uni will flip on him anytime soon. I think he's going to drag this out as long as possible now. Maybe before, but I think it's going to at least eventually flip. But it's going to be a while. But when the Discover comes back and it shows it's been altered, and the judge does, by the way, the service issue is already done. Kyle gave nothing to show service was improper. That's a given. So the question is, did he commit any kind of jailable or prisonable, jailable criminal offenses? Well, clearly that's the case, and this will be going further to the DA. So the judge will be asking about this. Yeah, there's no question about that. But we don't care what UNIRock thinks. UNIRock is not the judge. So I just thought it was funny. I was listening to a few minutes, and I was just like, oh my God, this is comical, how wrong he's gotten. So I just want you guys to see this, because he literally was saying that Kyle was editing, a guy would have come in and had to edit this, which you're looking at now. No, that's not how it works. So maybe Jay Brown later on can make a video on it. Maybe some other people that know about coding could make a video on it, because I just thought it was funny. That's all. I just couldn't believe that he was this incompetent. So we need to keep track of all the things UNIRock has gotten wrong, because we're going to keep forgetting. Oh, Kino, you want a wrench? You get a wrench, my love. You can have a wrench. You've earned one. It takes about 10 minutes, though. I did give you a wrench, but sometimes it doesn't update right away. I don't know why. All right, so any other questions, guys? Because like I said, this was just for my entertainment, that I just thought it was so funny that he didn't understand what he was seeing. He admits he doesn't understand Adobe code. He didn't even understand that all this stuff with the C218, all this stuff, that's all computer generated. He's like, oh, well, this looks like it's all computer stuff, and this would have been all by the computer. This isn't done by Kyle. We're like, yeah, no kidding. We never claimed otherwise. Do I think the DA cares about it? They will when a judge refers it, and they say, absolutely, they'll care about it. Yeah, absolutely, they're going to care about it. This judge cares about it. Yeah, I got to keep my wrenches down, but Kino definitely gets a wrench. Somebody messaged me. Who's messaging me? Does somebody want in or something? Bull, you want in? You got anything to add? Oh, it's Riff. I told him Riff. Hang on. Riff says, quote, he has no effing idea what he's talking about. No kidding. And here's the funniest thing. Riff made his money off coding. Coding. This is what he does. And you have somebody like UNIRock going, oh, I don't know anything about coding. I don't know anything about this. I have people that told me about it. Okay, who are those people? Bring them on. Because it sure the hell ain't Menace to Sobriety. Sure the hell ain't that high guy. Who is this coding experts? Because I've talked to a lot of people that know computers. Justin Frakes knows computers. He is my webmaster. He has a server farm. He looked into this and found nothing wrong with it. So all these mysterious people that don't seem to exist only in Uni's mind, like him talking to the judge. Well, we're going to keep track of this stuff eventually, I think, though. But it's really merely just for entertainment purposes. I'm focused on, this court case. I'm focused on getting the most amount of information we can get to the judge by the depositions, because we couldn't do this in an affidavit because of the limitations on how much you could submit. But because it was allowed in the depositions to ask Kyle about, we can actually do a little bit more with it, I think. And of course, like I said, Kyle did nothing today to add to his case. Absolutely nothing. He didn't produce a single document before 2020. Why is that? Why? And he didn't explain why there was edits. He didn't explain why the Amazon was off. He didn't explain any of this stuff. So now you use a dislike bot. I've never used it. I wouldn't even know how to use a bot, BT Toast. I do know people that do know how to use those. There is a way to do a dislike bot. I've never used one, and I have no idea how to do it. So, let's see. I popped over there to his stream. Basic take I got. Steve's crew are a bunch of meanies, so don't watch them even if they're right. Yeah, that seems. And yet everybody that I'm looking at are like the coolest people that I know. You know? Even got JM Ferran on there. Hey, buddy, it's been a long time for him from Twitter. And he, and we don't agree on theological stuff. Got Dottie, got Mikael Wells. And, does the UNIRock guy explain the QR code having the wrong date? No, he did not. Or the wrong barcode for the zip code? No, he did not. How does one explain that? Discover. He actually said Discover did it. What was the exact phrase he used? Discover forged it, I think, or something. Let me see if I can find it. I don't want to misquote him. I think he said Discover forged it. Is that right? Let me look here. I tweeted it so I didn't forget. He said, Discover did forge the document. Yeah, that's the realm of reality he's living in. That he thinks Discover forged the document, not Kyle. Not a convicted felon, not somebody who stole $60,000, not somebody who's already, lied multiple times to everybody. Nope, not him. He's the honest one. It must be Discover that forged it, because that makes sense. Because reasons? So, yeah, just an error by Discover. No, these are not errors. These are manual edits after they was downloaded. These weren't even sent to him. These were downloaded, and then he went in and manually changed these things. And by the way, he did change the data because he was trying to make it appear that he was living with Ben at the time. That's why he did it. That's why he added Benjamin to his PayPal. I'm kind of curious who that PayPal was originally for, but he added Benjamin after the fact and $600. Right? As a matter of fact, you can actually find the edit in here. You go search for it. Right here. This is the edit. Again, change of text. This is the Adobe font. This is from the Adobe table. This is not from the PDF table. It's from a different program. This is the text box location, which already existed. This already was there. This was computer generated. Then he entered in the name. He changed the name. And then goes back to the Adobe font. All this stuff is already existing. This is what Jason understands. He was like, oh, well, he would have had to edit it perfectly aligned everything. No, the alignment's already done. These alignments, these TD text boxes, right? These locations, those were already computer generated. That's what UNIRock didn't understand. One sec. Anyways, I'm going to wrap this up. I just wanted to basically... oh, I got a PayPal. Who's this from? Let me look here. Richard sent me a PayPal, $5. Thank you, Richard. But you didn't have a message. Do you have anything I want to read for that? Usually I do a read. Would be quite a coincidence if the computer accidentally edited the part that said Benjamin, right? Yeah, exactly. Yeah, why is that an edit? Wouldn't that just have been like part of the normal, like right here, this one right here, see this? This is the text box, debit purchase, PayPal. This part is computer generated, right? Uni thinks that we are claiming that Kyle typed all that in and, did the text box and created those lines. No, those lines were already there. Those are two actual real entries that are aligned by the computer system. He just went in and manually, at the end of this PayPal, added Benjamin. Because I don't think UNIRock watched our video. I don't think he did. I don't think he understood what we were claiming because he can't get the facts right. So, it's just hilarious. I mean, like I said, I always said, look, if you want to watch UNIRock for entertainment, knock yourself out. I usually don't. I haven't watched his periscopes lately on 1.5 speed or 2 speed. But I'm only watching him straight up just until this is over for when he's talking about this stuff, because I want people to see just how wrong he was. And by the way, he wanted people to do this. This is why we found it falling out to begin with, because he wanted me to do a video after he did a video and go back and forth. And I'm just not into that. I'm just not. But because he's so inept. Oh, Josh has got okay, so Josh, why don't you just, if you do a video or something, or we can do a video tomorrow and we can hang out and we show by using Acrobat Pro. That's all you got to do is just type in the name Benjamin. But I think Jason, like I said, was thinking that, we're saying that Kyle went into this Postscript PDF code and rewrote the code. Because normally, you write a code and it does something, right? Bottom to top. No, this was top to bottom. He has it backwards. Josh, I don't know if you use Python libraries, but maybe you can replicate exactly what Ruv did by getting the PDF straight from the web page, decompressing it with QPDF-exe. He actually shows you the arguments you have to use, the modifiers, and then using a Python library to extract. Yeah, I mean, Josh is a smart guy. So, Tina says, I have a feeling Kyle's going to try to do another GoFundMe. Possibly. Yeah, no, and I guess this whole narrative that I'm trying to discredit him for GoFundMe, not really. Look, if people want to spend money on a fraudster, knock yourself out. I'm going to laugh about it, just like I laughed about him getting a lawyer actually ended up helping us and prolonged it where we can show that he committed criminal acts. Thank you for that. William says, as a former SME in the letter vendors that worked for a third-party financial institution product, it doesn't make sense in the least that the barcodes could be in the error on the Discover side. No, it doesn't. That's the whole thing. Everything that UNIRock says is just fundamentally wrong. Fundamentally wrong. And it's just so funny that, the October and the November is the one that he submitted originally. Those have the edits. But, he submitted the January, February, March, I guess, today. I don't have a copy of those. But why did he give the ones that are after 2020, but not the ones before? Oh, his reasons? Because he was busy. He was busy. And, quote, confidentiality issues, which is nonsensical. I mean, he has his lawyer there. His lawyer could have done it. But there's just so many problems with those PDF files. And, again, we haven't addressed the Amazon thing yet. We know that the Amazon thing was changed as well. So we've subpoenaed Amazon. And then you got UNIRock going, oh, look, Steve created those subpoenas in a LibreOffice. No, that's a default program that when you download something, that's how it comes up. And I noticed that he was still going off on screenshots. I swear to God, that's just like his go-to. Steve created screenshots and email. Well, okay, if that was the case, then where's the evidence for that? Oh, there is none? I didn't think so, because it's never happened. I will stake my entire channel on it. I've never in my life, and I keep repeating it numerous times, ever faked a screenshot or email. Never. And I have all the evidence to prove that. All the evidence. I have all the history of those screenshots, knowing exactly who I talked to, when I talked to, and what was talked about. And that all will come out one day. Just, it's not the right time. Out of respect for Flossie. But Flossie has seen it. Flossie knows for absolute fact that I did not create anything. So that narrative, it just shows you that he's desperate for character assassination, right? Because he keeps going back to that. It's pretty sad. The transcription for the depositions are not going to be public. Yeah, those are just for the judge, from what I understand. Anyone who is innocent would do anything they can show that. Yeah, and you know what's so funny is, Tina, you know I can show it. The problem is out of respect for Flossie, until she gives me permission to and allows me to show her messages and Kim's messages, I can't, because that's my honor. But you know for a fact that I could easily, right now, if I just wanted to flaunt that to the wind and not care if Flossie or Kim, I show their DMs, I could show that clearly I didn't create those. But I'm not going to do that to them until they give me permission. Once they do, sure. Let's see, what else? Those letters are generated by companies by Xperia that get all the information from an XML push. Yeah, well, an XML actually is metadata. He thought this was metadata. He kept calling all this stuff metadata, and I don't think that he understood what metadata really was. The next step of the legal process is the transcription should be done by Thursday, from what I understand. Now, those will go to the judge. The judge will evaluate any credibility issues. Because it was originally a he said about living together. Had he not forged all this stuff, quite honestly, Kyle probably would have been in at least okay shape as far as he still would have lost, but the judge wouldn't have pressed charges, right? The judge wouldn't have sent him to the DA because he probably would have construed it as just two people looking at things differently, right? Okay, stay there. He's calling it living together. But once he gave that forged rental agreement and once he gave the forged affidavit, those were no longer the case. It was no longer a he said. Yeah. So that changed the whole thing. That changed the dynamics. You're not muted, Pearlfish. Yeah, see, Tina understands. The only person that matters in this situation is her. I've made that very clear. Flossie is the only person I'm concerned about. If I have to suffer myself and be, people talk shit about me, I don't care. I have made a promise to Flossie, and I will keep it. And I will make sure that I will not do anything unless she's cool with it. And this is not the right time for anything. I don't want her to be in the middle of anything. But if you ask her, she'll tell you, I'm the only one of the very few people she trusts. I know she trusts Tina, but Tina and I are probably the only two people that I know that Flossie does trust unequivocally, because we have not lied to her, and we definitely have shown that we had nothing to do with those screenshots. And that's all I care about. No offense. I don't care about UNIRock. I don't care what anybody else thinks either. When I make a promise to somebody, I value loyalty exceptionally much, and I don't mean like blind loyalty. I mean like, hey, you're not going to harm somebody. I don't expect my friends to go out of the way to harm me, and I'm not going to go out of my way to harm them, and I'm not going out of my way to violate a promise that I made to somebody. I really did to take the shots rather than do something that's against my personal code, and I don't like showing personal DMs. I'm willing to bet that the same data field that populates the zip on the mailing address also populates the zip barcode, just using the barcode font. That is true. However, the data field, that's on their end, right? That's off their databases. When this gets populated, right, it pulls, let's say you're using a SQL server, or whatever your database is going to be, and you pull that data off, right? And there's a data field. Let's say it'll be like the employee names. So you have that class. In the object oriented coding, you have a specific class that has the names of people. Like, so employee.net or employee.name, that's going to be a class that will have the employee names in it. And so this gets generated, this information gets pulled, and then it gets put into a specific format that gets sent as the PDF. That is all done through the computer system. And it shouldn't have any touch-up. Once you download it, then you can manually go in by putting it in Adobe Acrobat Pro and manually change the information in those fields, and they'll change the Postscript PDF code that keeps track of it, right? So yeah, I don't think UNIRock understood how that kind of worked. Yeah, and there's more than just one couple of financial institutions, because you got to remember, they got to pull off various web servers, and they've also, on the address, they'll check, for example, if an address has been changed in the last year, they'll check that database too. And if they find out that that has been changed, they will change it on the fly, or at least throw a yellow, those yellow post things where it has the new information. They'll try to get new information directly from the postmaster if a change of address has been put in. So it checks a lot of databases when it pulls this stuff, and then it compiles it and then puts it into the PDF. But yeah, you could tell listening to UNIRock tonight that he was just pulling stuff out of his butt. Hey, Mikey. Well, anyways, I didn't want to go very long. I know you guys are entertained, but my voice is shot, and I got to do ATA tomorrow, so I want a good night's sleep. But like I said, I just thought it was hilarious. He just gets everything wrong, and what are you gonna do? But I want to document it. I want people to recognize it, and I want to notice the people that are supporting him, because they clearly didn't have a clue. With that, guys, I won't forget. I'll blur out the before the privacy concern. I'll blur out the text stuff. I'm gonna unlist this, and then I'll fix it, and then I'll put it back up. Which, by the way, it was so funny. Every time you unlist something, they lose their crap, man. I don't want to curse because my last video got demonetized. But yeah, I mean, it's like they think it's some kind of like weird like conspiracy thing, because that's what they do. And all I was doing last time was I was blurring something, you know. Yeah, I sound tired. I am tired. I'm ready to go to bed. So I'm going to call this quits, guys. Thanks for watching this. Again, this was just a quick thing. I didn't expect to go this long. Just to point out just how nonsensical Uni's debunks are. They're not debunks. They don't show anything remotely what he thinks. This is legit evidence. This is going to the court. The judge will see this. This will go to the DA. Uni's just wrong. Flat out wrong. His coders can say what they want. He can say what he wants. When it comes down to it, the only thing that matters is that this is still part of the case, that this is correct. This is going to show that Kyle did forge those documents. They will come back from the subpoena and show the same thing. And I'm like I said, I'm telling you right now it's going to happen. And with that, guys, good night.